let's cheers this boy. Or well, first let's roll the die. Okay.
It hit the feather.
Yeah, it hit the feather. It's gonna get worse.
It fell on the floor.
It fell on the floor. It fell on the floor. 8. It's worse than it was. Yeah, we'll stick with the first one that hit the feather.
Yeah.
Also, cheers this guy. How's everyone? How have you had a good weekend?
Ooh.
Yeah. This is testing a...
He's tart.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, though. I feel like my chair is in the wrong spot.
I definitely have some problems.
Yeah, mine does not have accents on it.
Good.
Yeah.
I gave you the right one. And
Good.
then this one is just basically the same things, but just not... Just give it a stir.
I'll give you a stare.
There you go. And then, of course, sorry, a metal straw. Gotta have the metal straw. It's just refreshing.
That is nice.
Anyways, how was you guys been well? Dude, I really like. It's so bad that like the first 2 minutes of our podcast is always just us like cheersing and drinking, and it's just like everyone just skip the first minute.
Yeah.
Because like
It's also, for them, it's a Monday.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure we said what days we record, but they're probably looking at it like, oh, they're recording on like a Friday or Saturday, so they could have
No.
drinks. Nah. It's Tuesday, motherfucker.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
uh,
Yeah, it's fun. But no, I've so I had a fun day. I kinda so I'll talk we can talk about it now.
okay.
I went to I took my mom to get her following 2 stints put in today. So Mama had a heart attack on New Year's Day.
It was eventful.
Yeah. So that was fun. She had to have 4 stents put in her LED, basically the Widowmaker, and then they waited a couple weeks for those to settle in a little bit. They went through her wrist, so it wasn't like the super traumatic cut her open and all that.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot. But so they did that, and then today they finally went to go do the last 2. Only needed to do 1.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I guess
That's good.
the other one basically shrunk down enough that they didn't actually need to do anything. So I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's already home and taking a nap.
Good shit.
So I was pretty happy with that. That was fucking took them out about an hour. It took an hour and a half for me, really, just to, I was away for an hour and maybe 40 minutes, and then they came and got me.
Good shit. Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure? I'm tired.
I had a massive migraine today. Nothing compared to getting fucking stents put in, but yeah.
I mean, yeah. But still, fuck, that sucks, dude.
I full on, I called off work and everything and was fucking just
okay.
dead all day, which is why I'm in fucking pajamas, basically.
It also explains why you're like, oh yeah, I'm already home. Yeah. I was like, what? That was confusing. Yeah, we took Penny to doggy daycare for the first time. Well, second time. We took her the first time last week. I might have mentioned it.
I think so. I will say I was very confused at your text because I was like, still a little headache, still a little out of it, and I read your text and you're like, yeah, I got to pick up Penny from daycare, and I was like, he has a child?
Surprise.
And then I remembered Penny's a dog.
Yeah.
And there's dog daycare, and I was just like so confused though. It's like,
Yeah.
how much have I missed?
You've been in a coma.
Yeah.
We're on episode 500.
Okay.
No, I just ended up, it was good. It's not, it's pretty cheap. It's like $32 for the whole day kind of a thing.
Okay.
So,
I think that's actually cheaper than like child daycare.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
For the most part, essentially, we were just like, We're only doing it 2 days a week at most. We just we realize we need to start getting her more socialized with other animals.
Yeah.
And also now that Melissa's going back to the office more, we feel worse for just leaving her at the house because she's such an energetic dog.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we need to get her at least start acclimating with dogs so that way when we do get another dog in the future that like she's not gonna freak the fuck out. But also like they have a doggy door so she can go potty during the day if she needs to, and then they play with her I think twice a day for like an hour and a half each time with all the dogs in a room.
Yeah.
So
Who's
otherwise they're just
calling
chilling.
me?
Ooh, have a mystery caller.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. God, dude, honestly, how is scam calls legal anymore? Like, truly, like, how...
I fucking hate them.
I don't know how we haven't just truly banned it. But, like, there's no telemarketing allowed anymore. Period. Like,
There shouldn't be.
There is not one good reason to telemarket.
No.
Like, I don't... It's not like they're actually calling and saying, we legit are giving you money. This is a it's always some like, only once have I ever gotten one that was like for the solar panels. They were like, a couple of counties in your area have a tax thing, so that way if you do want to do solar panels, you can get a couple grand off of it if you're looking into doing that. And I was like, we're just not looking. It was at the old house before we moved here.
Yeah, and they always hit up like specific people too. Like in your case, you bought a house, so you're gonna get all the scam calls from the solar panel things. That, let me do your roof, let me do your furnace, let me do this, that, this. Yeah. But most of the scam calls go to people that like they need money or something.
Yeah.
Like back when I used to do all the payday loans and shit, every time I got a payday loan, I'd get scam calls for like 2 weeks. And then recently, like I told you before, I was looking at like the foreclosed houses and stuff. Like, didn't sign up for anything.
Yeah.
Was just kind of looking. And then I saw one where I was like, shit, that might be doable. So like I emailed the fucking realtor and everything, and boom. Now I've got a shit ton of scam calls left and right. The irony is the retailer I emailed, Michigan. Because I fucking live in Michigan. But all the scam calls I'm getting now because of that, Kansas. I'm like,
you motherfuckers,
I know you're a scam call.
I haven't lived there in years.
Oh my god, but it's fucking obnoxious. And it's literally like, I was looking at a rundown piece of shit foreclosed house for like $40,000, 0 down, like rent to own type deal, and I was like, wow, that sounds great. Not great. Huge scam. Now my phone is blowing up again.
Honestly, it might be one of those houses that they put up for people to do the thing, pay for the application, and then they don't approve of you, so they just get 1,000 applications.
Yeah. Which I didn't get shit back from the fucking realtor, so I'm like, yeah, probably a scam or some shit. Because I was like legit curious. I was like, fuck it, I'll move into a rundown house for like 0 down, $40K.
Where was it at?
Pontiac, like right down the road from me.
Okay. So
I was like, yeah, I'd do that. It just needs a little bit of work.
That's the thing, is it's as long as it's not. You need to find a place that like needs some work, but isn't like structurally integral work.
Yeah. My thing too is like, we can
do some wall work.
The spot I looked at, foundation was fine. Structurally looked fine, at least from like photos and what I could see.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd get an inspection and shit.
Yeah, of course.
The inside, like, the walls had holes in them, like the floor was messed up, and I was like, I'd fucking knock the walls down and replace all the electrical anyway. Like, I want that so I don't have to fucking destroy the walls myself. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I have a reason to destroy them now. They're already destroyed.
Yeah.
I can just knock it all out as soon as I get them there.
Yeah. Literally go in there, do it all in a weekend, like confuse the shit out of Facebook, because I'll be like, I bought a house, and then they see all the broken down walls, and then like Monday be like, I redid all the electrical, and they'll be like, he was there for 2 days.
And then you're just like, yeah, I asked people that I know how to do electrical shit to come over and help me do it real quick.
I already know how to do it from George's house.
Yeah, but you want to make sure.
Oh, dude, believe me, we knew what we were doing. The only thing we couldn't do was, like, we didn't install the new panel, and we didn't install the new, I think it went from, like, 120 to 240 from the actual power to the house.
Yeah.
Those are the only two things we couldn't do. Like, actually running the electrical and knowing what gauge size wires to get and what to connect to where, what junction boxes to get. Like, it sounds difficult as fuck, but
yeah,
it's nothing.
No, it's not too bad. Yeah, just I'm not very good at it, so I'm like, well, I mean, I usually have Bill come do it, and he helps me. I've done enough that, like, I mean, obviously I can change the socket out if I have to, all that jazz, but, like, I'm not running.
I'm telling you, when I get a house, I'm probably gonna rerun all my shit. You'll probably come over to help, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, he wasn't kidding. This is like fucking like preschool level knowledge."
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. I don't underestimate that. Like, the actual aspect of running the lines and, like, doing that stuff is not hard, and that makes sense to me. It's more of just, like, the math of making sure, like, I'm not grabbing the wrong currents in which wires.
Oh yeah,
That's the more of, like, grabbing that shit.
That's like real simple though, because like for a house you're gonna have 3 wires to choose from.
Yeah,
it's nothing.
I just
which always confuses me when it's like, how did you connect the negative to the positive and the positive to the negative? There's 3 fucking wires. Well, white to white, black to black, green to green. It's color coordinated.
Surprise. Well, that's the one time you're like, well, it's cut down so far I can't see, and then it's just like, I'm red green colorblind.
that one makes sense actually.
Can you imagine there's a guy who's like, that would be funny.
It's me and George. We just fucked his house up.
It'd be so funny if, like, there was a game show and that, like, occurred, and they were like, it's a bomb diffusion thing, and, like, you gotta like mix and cut the right wires, and he's just like, I'm colorblind. Like, dude, good luck.
That similar thing happened to a buddy of mine in elementary school.
He had to defuse a bomb.
Yeah. We lived on base, remember? But no, it was he like found out in the moment that he was colorblind, because they brought in like all those. It was like we had nothing going on that day, so the teacher was like, "Oh, let's look at these colorblind tests and, like, you know, fun little game." It's just pulling them all up on her computer and showing us, and he's just sitting there like all the whole time, just like progressively just getting more and more anxious and stressed out, and he's like, and everyone else is like, "That's a 2, that's a 4, that's a 7," and he's like, he raises his hand,
reading the numbers.
Yeah, off the little circle thing. He raises his hand and he's like, "I don't see any of these numbers. Where are you guys finding the numbers? Are they in the corners or something?" And the teacher's like, "Can you look at this one?" He's like, "It's just a fucking green circle." She's like, "You might be really colorblind." So he had to go, like, get tested and shit. Man, he was like legit. Like he pretty much saw, like, in black and white basically, because he did not see any of them fucking circles.
Oh my god, that's rough. He was like, I see like 4 colors.
Like, God.
Can you imagine if, like, well, like, and here's the thing too, where it even comes out to, like, is the red that you see the same red that I see?
I've been thinking about that like my whole life.
But that said, we both also, like, painting this room, when we looked at it, we came to the agreement, like, oh, well, like, you know, the locker red was, well, actually, the locker red is the original red. That's the same red for...
No shit. Because this was already made before we had...
Well, we painted it again, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. On the back, it has the circa... Us.
Yeah, it's our names in a heart too.
Yeah, for, like, 2021.
Yeah, that
we did it.
No one sees.
Yeah, but, like, that technically that red was the red on the wall in the basement the first time, and then we went to Home Depot this time for the paint because that's the one place close to us instead of Lowe's. So we got this red, and you can see it's a touch different, but because it's so much smaller of a room, this red worked out better. Sorry, audio listeners, we're just talking about the set real quick, but like the fact that we both came to the agreement, we were like, you know what, if we're gonna go for it, let's go just a little bit brighter this time, and then we were like, this is the right one. So we both had to have seen like
that's saturation though. That's not hue. Like our level of bright and dark is similar. But my thing is, what if we both technically have the same favorite color? Like, what if your red is my blue?
What?
Yeah. Like, how do we know that you see the exact same color?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's probably some scientific shit to where you can tell by the rods and the cones and blah, 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 and red is red. But fuck you. What if...
Red is red, love is love.
What if your red is how I see my blue?
Yeah.
And like vice versa. So like technically we would have the same favorite color.
Yeah.
Because I like that blue, but if you see your red as that blue, then we have the same favorite color. That's what I've thought of the whole time.
That's fucking trippy.
Yeah.
Like,
what if everyone's favorite color is just the same color, but we don't see it the same way?
But everyone has different color favorites. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, what if Melissa's favorite, or I don't know Melissa's favorite color, Teresa's favorite color is purple? What if the way she sees purple is how I see blue and how you see red?
Well, then everyone else would also not. I don't know. That's.
Yeah.
We should get, like. Who do we know that's an optometrist or nothing that we like as a person?
Oh, I don't like him.
I don't.
He doesn't watch, but Sunika. He was an old sergeant of mine. I didn't like him. He sucked.
Funny. I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of, like, I only know one other person that's an optometrist. Two people that's an optometrist, actually. I lied. And I don't really know. Well, one I just have no relation with. It's an old guitar. They're both old guitar players. One is from, like, years ago when I was, like, before high school. A band then. He's an optometrist now, but he was in Shapes and Colors.
Okay, yeah.
And then now that's over. He's doing that. And then I know my old guitar player from BTS, and he is one, and I don't want to talk to him. Well, I don't care about talking to him, but I don't think he wants to talk to me.
Yeah, I think so.
It was funny, I actually brought that up while we were talking about that. Are you getting Stanton call again? Likely sales. Just hit... No. Dude, this is the times where it makes me want to learn the ability like that guy does, where he, like, figures out where they live and, like, calls them by their real names at the scam centers.
Oh, dude.
And they start freaking the fuck out. Like, holy fuck, how do you know who I am? And they all just start, like, closing off the computers because they've been caught. That shit. Ugh.
Dude, I fucking pay now because I get so much fucking scams. I pay for a caller ID thing to where I can block these scam callers. And I block them left and right. And then there's more.
Well, they have a million numbers.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, I wish they could just block by... Obviously, they have different computers, which each one has its own IP and stuff.
You can get a fucking voice, VoIP, VoIP fucking phone number. I had a couple for a while there. It was fun. They cost nothing.
Yeah, I would... They really should just straight up make it illegal. Like, I don't care how many people it gives a job. Their job, they can do something else.
Yeah.
There's a lot better in the world to do with your life than scam calling people. Like, that's some just bullshit.
Like, dude, I was looking at like picking up a secondary like remote work from home job. 90% of them fucking cold calls, like telemarketing, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Like,
I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, I think it's on its way out.
I fucking hope so.
I mean, I think it's still there, but I don't think our generation is going to keep it alive. Mm-mm. So it's going to be a dwindling, and kind of already is a dwindling.
Most of it's like robocalls, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and then like if you answer, it connects you to a real person, but 90% of it's all fucking robocalls, which are supposed to be illegal from what I hear.
But then, even then, like, I don't think there is going to be people that are even, like, willing to take the job where they are the people. They're just like, fuck you.
Dude, and like 90% of us, we don't know that number. We ain't fucking answering.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get a hold of me, you text me. That was my nostril.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it again there for you. Yeah.
Jesus. It sounds like Penny whining.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, my puppy.
It's because I have my sinus got destroyed when I was a child, remember?
Dude, you honestly should, like, go get that fixed.
Nah.
Why? Because it would get rid of your charming snore?
Nah, because it's expensive as fuck.
I know.
And it's like 2 months of recovery. It's literally getting a nose job, but more in depth and shit. I looked at it before, and it's like $30,000, and most insurance doesn't cover it.
That's definitely not as good with tonic water. The first time I did it was with LaCroix in the fridge in the garage, and I forgot it's not diet tonic.
I don't hate it.
Oh yeah, it's just better with the other one. It's more the quinine in the tonic gives it a bit more of a bitter taste than the LaCroix doesn't have that shit. So it's
I would have hated this a few years ago, but then I started drinking like White Claws and shit.
Yeah, they grew on me.
I used to fucking hate those. I remember we both hated those. Like, honestly, right around when we started this.
Well, here's the thing: is like we started this in the winter in White Claw. To me, White Claw is only good in certain situations. Like, it's only good if like you're obviously really trying to drink light, in like. You know, you're a DD, whatever, something drink light and more refreshing in a way, or like hungover drinking.
Yeah, dude, they're incredible for hangovers.
They're great for hangover drinking. But mainly...
That sounds alcoholic as fuck. They're great for hangover drinking.
Well, I mean, look.
It's me and you, yeah.
We are unfortunately almost well on our way to starting to gain a name of a professional drinker. Kind of. But like... If we end up like the one time that really sold me on White Claws was going to my Melissa's like aunt has that cabin up north. Their whole family goes to and everything. And, you know, there's like 14 people crashing in this, you know, house, essentially small cabin house. But, like, when we go out on the water when it was actually warm in the summer, and we go out on they have, like, they buy one of those big floaty things. They finally bought a new one, like, 2 years ago or something like that. And drinking White Claws sitting on the floaty in Lake Michigan, Lake Huron.
That's nice.
That's when White Claws are great, when it's like, it's actually really fucking hot out. You do actually kind of want, like, something bubbly and refreshing. Because, like, after a while, like, when you're in the water, like, beer's good and all, but, like, it also gets really warm really quick.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah. And, like White Claws and Trulies and shit, even if they get warm, like, they okay.
Yeah.
You know?
They're manageable. You can power through them, and they're not going to weigh you down. Versus like me, I still like the last time I went, and I did still enjoy the fuck out of this. I made my batch old fashions.
Yeah.
I just made like fucking like 6 or 7 at a time, and then just like waddled out to the beach with my fucking thermos full of old fashioned. Yeah. I'm just like walking around the water, just like hoping it looks like I'm drinking water, and I'm like, nope, whiskey.
I tell you, the next time we go floating, we actually need to bring rocker glasses and cigars.
Dude, honestly.
And just fucking float, especially if there's other people coming around, because we're just floating next to them with a fucking rocker glass and a cigar, just like, stop.
Well, like, I went to, I'm definitely down for that for the next time we tube as well.
It's probably next year, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's happening. It's not happening this year. I can already say that because we have too many things going on.
Yeah.
But like, if we were to when we go tubing, I would definitely love to go get like a nice whiskey that we can sip on for the whole tube. That way we don't even we just put it over ice. It's a good sipping whiskey. We're not having to mix drinks like we would at the cabin.
Well, I know you want a whiskey, but can I bring that?
I've been wanting to get more cognacs to start making a little bit of variations of drinks.
We'll get the higher end one for you and I to share one episode.
That's fair.
Like, this is a higher end one, but there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good sipping one. Well, I'm also thinking, like, if we do just something good to sip on that's gonna get us keep us decently fucked for a 4 or 5 hour long float, you know? Because especially if it's... Because there's even part of me, too, that's like, even if we have, like, just like, I don't know, if I just make, like, we can still make, like, simple drinks enough where it's just dump it in your glass.
True.
But still, I'm cool with a nice, just straight hard whiskey to sip on.
Yeah,
or something smooth.
I'm legitimately picturing like us floating next to like the other big groups. Like they just see me and you, and of course Melissa would probably be with us and whoever else.
Yeah.
But they just see me and you. Like, if we can find a smoking jacket that we're cool with fucking ruining, just smoking jacket, fucking
Salvation Army smoking jackets.
Yeah. Smoking jacket, the straw hat that we usually have, cigar. Fucking
we gotta go to. We have
whiskey.
to go to Salvation Army and get some fucking cheap smoking jackets to smoke in, and we're gonna float in the river in the smoking jackets with some nice cigars and whiskey.
And just people fucking floating down next to us, just like, what the fuck?
We're gonna have a cooler that actually has ice in it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna float it next to us with, like, it'd be so funny if we really just say fuck it and bought a tube just to put that bottle in.
Dude, I was thinking...
But then also I'm worried it just gets dumped.
We get a floating, like... You know how they have the roller cart bars? We get one that's a tube. So there's actually, like, shaker glasses and, like, a fucking decanter on top. And we're just like... Oh, would you like another? And then just fucking floating by people shaking the fucking cocktail mixer.
Well, that was my thought too. Is like, I mean, technically, like, if we were doing something like that, I really would do something where, like, I just put all of the mixing. You know, I would make just a giant batch of a cocktail.
Yeah, have it in the thermos. Yeah.
Maybe not even that. Just in the glass, those glass bottles I have, and we just leave it in the cooler.
True.
And we just dump it out. But I would need to make like 2 of them.
Yeah.
We could each have our own, like,
that's true.
Essential drink in this, you know, a fifth of a drink. But I could just make us a giant old fashioned, or each a giant whiskey sour or something like that.
We bring the fucking smoker tops too. We're just sitting there floating next to people smoking our glass.
Well, here's the thing: is even with that, like, I've actually thought about the fact that I have those. Mm-hmm. So I saw, like, they have other smoking vessels that are like these big vases and you fill it with the smoke and the glass. You know, the cocktail only covers me. You know, the vase might be like this big.
Yeah.
And it only covers a bit, but they put the smoke in there, and then they just stir it like within the vessel. And I was like, I could just do that in that fucking thing. Just smoke the glass bottle, put the cocktail in there, shake the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
It's smoked, and then you just dump it. Because here's the thing: is once the smoke really is imparted in the cocktail, it's not going away. I mean, you lose the smelling essence of it, but it's gonna be
more
there.
and more. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we could also just fucking roast it real quick.
It would, again, I'm going back to just, I want to see people's reactions. Just as we're floating by, they're like, what the fuck? Everybody's got beers and White Claws, and we're making fucking old fashions.
Well, that torch is also going to help like a motherfucker when we're trying to light our...
That's true. Trying to light the fire, yeah.
Well, the fire, the cigars...
True.
we need to get into good cigars.
I used to.
I never... So, like, I only recently kind of started... I've always liked the idea of cigars. Obviously, just never got them. I have only really bought... the one time I can say I truly have bought a cigar, like, went to a real cigar place that wasn't just buying, like, shitty cigarillos or, like, someone gave me a cigar.
You went to, like, an actual humidor, yeah?
Yeah, I went to a real place that had a whole humidor shop. And that was when we were in Disney, because we sold the house. It was the day I signed the closing on my house, and we went to the, we were walking around downtown thing, and they had a cigar humidor place, and I was like, fucking, that's it, yep, going in. So I went and just bought like a $20 cigar or whatever, and smoked it that night on the, like... Not on the beach, but the like, they have those, like, just when the awnings that you have, like, a park, like those big square metal ones that has those, like, rubber-coated metal park benches kind of thing. They just had a couple of those over the thing, and it was somewhere, like, towards their water on a lake in Florida. But so I just kind of sat there and smoked that. So, like, I haven't really smoked them a lot just for the fuck of them. It's always an occasion. I definitely plan on getting some really nice ones for the wedding. But, that was another thing. Yesterday we went to go see the venue again. Because Melissa wanted to, like, revisit it again and really get an idea to make sure she has things in her head right for planning shit. And I was asking her about, like, I want to buy us, like, a really nice fucking whiskey to sip before the ceremony to just enjoy amongst ourselves as groomsmen. And she was kind of like, well, essentially, technically, they can't do that because, like, liquor licenses and stuff. And I was just like, I was like, we're not gonna make cocktails. We're not getting smashed. It's more of like literally celebratory sipping in the morning.
As you're getting ready. That's like a recurring thing.
Yeah.
Most of the weddings I've done, like, the groomsmen bring me in and, like, I'm sitting there drinking with them, and that's when I meet them.
Yes.
Because I usually know, like, the bride or the groom.
Yeah.
And then I get brought into there, and they're like, who's this guy? And I'm sitting there doing a couple shots or sipping on a whiskey with them, and I'm like, oh, I'm the minister. They're like, but you're... I'm like, yeah, I got to get the fucking liquid courage in me before I go out there, you know?
No, but once I basically was like, I told her, I was like, I'm not buying, like, I was like, I'm buying something that's probably, like, over $150.
Yeah.
Like, really nice, like, probably planning to not finishing it here at all. And she was like, oh, I mean, I can run it by him. I don't think it's an issue because you're not, you know.
Yeah, and that's honestly a very normal thing.
That, and even then, as she mentioned, she's like, also, like, worst case, if it's so much of an issue, I can even just see if, like, if you have the whiskey in mind, they might be able to, like, purchase it for you. But then we would have to finish it that night, which I don't think is a problem.
No. But also, like, would we really want to fucking slam down $100+ bottle?
I mean, look, if there's a day to do it,
That you're not wrong.
it's a wedding, you know? I mean, so that's where I'm like, well, fuck it, but we'll see if I get a bottle of fucking Blanton's. Actually, I don't want Blanton's. I want something that I know is going to be really good. I think I'm going to do a little bit more YouTube research and be like, all right, like, look at those channels where they have, like, the reviews of bourbon, and they're like, all right, well, these are the expensive whiskeys that I actually think are worth going out to purchase and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Versus, I've already heard actually a couple. I've seen one or two where they basically said Blanton's really isn't worth it. Like, it's good, but it, you know, to a couple people's taste, they were like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So
That's how I feel about certain, like, celebrity alcohols. Like, a lot of them, it's like, people buy Ciroc because of Diddy, and I'm like, Ciroc sucks ass.
Ciroc is good when you're a teenager.
Yeah. Even then, I didn't like it.
I didn't either, but it was cheap. It was more accessibly available. I mean, and not even really as a teenager, because I didn't drink as a teenager. I guess really more like just young drinking. A young drinking age. Like, that's kind of your thing, because it seems to always be available. It also had a lot of flavors. So, people
it was pricey compared to, like, fucking Absolute or Svedka, though.
Yes, but it wasn't actually pricey. So that was people being like, I get Ciroc. I'm showing off.
Yeah.
I don't get Smirnoff. I show off and I get Ciroc. Like, that kind of a thing. That's young drinking age showing off. And then also, because it's flavored, some, you know, if you had the will and the power, you could just slam Ciroc down.
Yeah.
In front of people, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!"
You're so good
and then
at
you're
doing
just
shots.
like, "Yeah," and then you're just like, I mean, it's just because it's technically it wasn't very strong, but also like it was flavored, so you could get past it. It wasn't.
It was no brunettes.
No, fuck no.
Oh my God, man.
Oh gosh, but like,
see, I got spoiled when I started drinking because, like, I drank one time in high school. Well, 2 times. And then I started drinking when I was in the Army, which was technically under 21. But I had no bills.
yeah,
You know, I just had money.
yeah.
So it was like when I would go to drink, like, I'd come back with bottles of that. Like, fucking, I'd send photos to my dad, and he'd be like, "You have 6 bottles of fucking VSOP?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
See, I didn't even like. I really didn't start drinking at all until, I don't know, like 22 or 23. And even then, like, it mostly just kind of started with beer.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time I just ventured into getting flights of, like, fancy beers. And I still like to do that once when I go to, like, One Eye Betty's and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was, I started with just beer, and then, like, I started drinking more and got into actual hard liquor when I got sad. And then, like,
That's usually how it goes.
yeah. And then, like, I started drinking. That's when I really started just drinking on my own a lot more and actually drinking liquor. And then I actually started to really develop a real drinking tolerance. And then I met you.
Yeah. And then you were no longer sad.
Yeah. Then I was just...
But the drinking got worse.
The drinking got worse. Well, and it's funny for me to think about that now, because, like, the fact that we became friends because you met me and you were like, you can keep up with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, you were like, how the fuck? And I'm like, well, I wasn't drinking with anyone to get this tolerance. I was just doing it on my own. You were going to parties and having fun with friends, and I was just, like, getting, like, starting to drink and then watching that. I'm trying to remember the movie. Henry Cavill. I never remember it, but it's Henry Cavill, Armie Hammer before he got canceled. They're both spies, and there's a scene where Henry Cavill hops into Armie Hammer's truck because he outsmarted him. He's basically watching Armie Hammer, like, get the boat that he's on sink in the water and all that stuff. And he's just sitting in Armie Hammer's truck, like, eating his, like, fancy cheese and wine basket that just happened to be sitting in there.
I don't know what.
I don't remember. But either way, I remembered seeing that, and I was like, oh, I want some cheese and crackers and stuff. So I paused the movie, and I drove to Meijer, and I bought a thing of beer cheese and club crackers and a bottle of wine. And I was like, cool. And then I went home and I drank the entire bottle of wine and ate like half that thing of beer cheese and a sleeve of crackers. That was the drinking I was doing on my own. And then, like, in a band, like, I get beers at venues or whatever. Yeah. And then we, like, started partying. And I was like, oh, I have places to drink more hard liquor that... also I was, like... getting distracted on Facebook and Facebook groups because someone was like, I'm doing this today because I had a rough day. What are you doing? And I'm like posting a picture of my fucking whiskey, just like almost filled to the brim. And I'm like, I had a hard day too. I'm just drinking, And then 2 hours later, I drank an entire fifth of American Honey, and I realized that because I realize it's empty, and I'm still in that same chat thread. And I'm like, oh no.
That's been me the last couple months.
Yeah, my drinking tolerance, they've obviously dwindled quite a lot because I'm not sad.
Yeah.
Not that sad.
I just, I realized I was getting bored. With the boredom and you're, like, doing other shit and you're drinking through it. And then the next thing you know, you're sitting there in your kitchen, like, whoa. And you look up at the bottle and you're like, oh.
Like, at this point for me now, like, I don't drink for just drinking. I'm drinking because I want to make a fun cocktail, and I'm not going to waste the booze. But then I'm also having to be like, well, like, is it appropriate for me to make a cocktail and drink right now?
Yeah.
And, like, it's not very responsible to just constantly make drinks. Also, I don't want to do that to my body. We have to...
Yeah.
With us doing Too Drunk, like, we have to...
Yeah.
We do have to take calculations on what we do outside of that day.
Yeah. But mine was like, I gotta fucking clean or something, like, I'm like, oh, it's so boring cleaning. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a couple drinks and, like, play some music and, like, vibe with myself while I'm fucking mopping the floors.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like fucking 8 o'clock at night. It was like, oh,
I've mopped this corner a lot.
I look at the bottle and it's almost gone. And I'm like, oh shit.
That's exactly what I used to do, and then I switched to smoking weed instead, and now I just smoke. I'm just high, and what I do now is I just get stoned, and then I take my the cordless vacuum, and I just literally vacuum the whole house until it dies.
Yeah.
And I can usually get almost the whole house before it dies. It gives me about an hour-ish.
My problem is I have no tolerance to the weed.
Yes, you used to get roasted.
Yeah, so like I've tried that where I'm like, oh, let me do this instead. And then I wake up on my couch and nothing's done.
Well, I mean, you have the pen, right? You can just hit it like once.
That's how it starts. And then I'll start cleaning, and I'm like, man, I gotta make dinner.
Yeah.
And I make dinner, and then I'm asleep.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's a... Well, you could also do edibles because they work on you.
Edibles are 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you could also do them at like the super minuscule tiny amounts where
True.
Where like, yeah, for you it really fucks you up, but like, I can't obviously
knocks me on my ass.
Like, I can't even eat them. I wish.
I had one of those the Sunday I got called with my brother having the kid.
Yeah.
I was so out of it because I had taken that edible to nap. Like, it's fucking zooted. Then my brother was like, yeah, no rush, man. Whenever you can get over there, just letting you know out. I was like, I'm gonna need a few hours. And he's like, dude, it's 6 o'clock. What do you need a few hours for? And I was like, I have to shower and take care of the cats. Like, try to formulate sentences.
I mean, but not gonna lie, I definitely also feel like you could have just straight up told me, look, man, I took an edible and took a nap because I did not expect this to happen.
Could have, but I was like so confused. I was like,
this is a lot to take in.
This is a lot right now.
This is so much information.
Literally woke up from an edible nap and was like, you're what?
Dude, it's so bad. It's so funny. I just remember you telling me that, and I was like, holy shit. And then you were like, yeah, he was born at this time. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was awake. Kind of. Like, I was awake and going back to sleep.
Yeah.
But it was,
born on Martin Luther King Day.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
He's always going to have his birthday sometimes off.
Yeah, sometimes off.
Depending where he works.
And I'm sure he's going to probably fight for it because he's a little mixed boy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be like, you're not going to give me today off?
It's my birthday and MLK Day?
Yeah.
Bro.
I am the dream.
He died so my dad could get some white chocolate, okay? I am the dream.
And my grandpa.
Yeah, that's fair. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Runs in the family.
Well, I'm gonna. It's been a long day, so thank you guys. We love you. Sorry, thank you for just listening to us ramble.
Yeah.
Weekly. We love you guys. It's one day we'll put more effort into this, but that is not today.
No, not tomorrow either.
Look, if you're one of the listeners and you have suggestions for weekly things we could do, let us know. Because once in a while we've tried to come up with some ideas, but a lot of the time we're like, that'd be cool for like a couple weeks, and then it would get old. So we're like, it's not a good enough idea to stick. So we'll flesh some shit out eventually. But thank you. Either way, thank you for enjoying our company. We love you guys. Have a great week. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.